So why are we here today, President Shelton?
Well, you know, we just had a detailed and complicated Regents meeting, and since I'm going to be on travel next week, I thought I would talk to the community and let them know impressions, what happened and what didn't happen, because it was a very important discussion for the University of Arizona and indeed for the university system.
Okay, so what happened?
Well, what happened, I think, to have the context, you need to think about tuition setting overall. Every year, tuition setting is a very difficult, multi-dimensional, complex topic. It proved to be no different this year. Indeed, this year, when you layer on top of it the difficult financial circumstance, use your word, depression, crisis, that the state of Arizona and the United States are in, you can understand why it was even more complex. And so what we had was a very open discussion by regents who all feel passionately about the future of this university, about the system, and they each brought their own ideas to the table, which is what they should do. And I was very pleased to see the discussion, to hear the different points of view. It doesn't mean they all agree, but in fact, that's what great regents do. They work this out among themselves. And I want to compliment each and every one of them for their candor in helping to come to a conclusion.
So what does the decision of the Board of Regents mean for the University of Arizona?
Well, the decision by the board means a number of things. First of all, it means that we will have resources that we need to continue our commitment to education for the students that come to the University of Arizona. We will still be the least expensive in terms of tuition and mandatory fees for entering freshmen of all three universities this year. It also means that we have an opportunity to put in place an index tuition that will take effect for everybody who is here on fall of 2009. In their future years, we plan to bring to the board an index tuition proposal, and based on the discussions, I'm sure that proposal will be approved. So it means resources to help these students get through and finish, and it means a predictability as they enter their second, third, and fourth years.
Okay. There will still be budget cuts likely at the university, however, correct?
Yes, I think we have to prepare, and we are preparing. We are preparing aggressively for a reduction in our state budget allocation. That's separate from the tuition we collect. We know the state is in trouble. We know the universities are going to have to do their fair share to deal with this budget problem. We don't know the numbers yet, but we have been working hard in the transformation process to ensure we are ready to deal with this not only this fiscal year, '09, but in fiscal year 2010. That's the purpose of the whole phrase that I've been using for months now: we can no longer conduct business as usual.
So where do you think we're going to see budget cuts?
Well, we don't know the exact target yet, but we do know a rough amount. The current best estimate is it'll be around 5% this fiscal year. That would be $20 million. And what we have done throughout the transformation process is work with the deans and the vice presidents, with the department heads, in identifying areas where we can take those cuts. They will be guided by our priorities as set through the strategic planning activity and through the transformation process. So this is something that the entire wisdom of this university, faculty, staff, students, alumni, are engaged in.
Given these budget cuts and the magnitude that we see, how relevant is the transformation process? Is it more or less relevant now?
The transformation process is critical. In fact, I'm so pleased we entered into that before the budget went completely south in September and October, because we're not going to make across-the-board cuts. We are not going to harm our very best programs. We are going to make sure that we continue to be the very best in the nation in some things that we do.
So participation in this process is still something that people should believe.
I still encourage strong participation. Have your voices heard. We've got the overarching vision, we've got the strategic plan that sets our priorities for this institution, and now the tricky part always is how do we implement that? Where does the rubber hit the road? We need to be more efficient. We need to cut out doing some things to ensure that what we do, we're doing as well as we can.
Okay. Let's talk about the students' future for a second. What will this do to the affordability and access for the University of Arizona, this new tuition rate?
Yeah, I want to be sure everyone knows that the future, the care, the nurturing of students is always first and foremost in our minds here. That's why we call ourselves a student-centered research university. Note, the student-centered comes before the research university, even though we're proud of the opportunities students get at the U of A to foster their own interests. So what this means is, first of all, we have additional funds to put into financial aid. The board, in its wisdom, upped the minimum amount of tuition income that goes into financial aid from 15 to 17%. We will always do at least that much. We also have the Arizona Assurance Program. We are committed to that. And it's not just to the low-income students. We have a commitment across the board to ensuring that students can finish and make the University of Arizona affordable. The other point I want to make too is that renew my pledge to work closely with the student leaders. The student leaders here, whether the undergraduates or the graduate and professional students, are very wise, they're very thoughtful, and they know that they always have my attention, and I'm always interested in their perspectives.
Great, okay. And as university employees work their way through the end of this semester, the beginning of next semester, and they see a lot of headlines, what's your message to the faculty and the staff as we move forward?
Well, first, I want to convey my thanks to faculty and staff, appointed professionals, everyone that makes this institution what it is. I know that none of this happens, none of this greatness occurs without a lot of people working sometimes behind the scenes. Secondly, as you hear rumors, don't believe everything you hear. Talk to a supervisor, talk to a department head, talk to a dean. Send me an email. I still answer my email, and we'll set these rumors straight. It is a time of great tension. We know that, not just here at the University of Arizona, but throughout the state and the nation. And so when tension arises, rumors follow on its coattails, and we need to damp that down. And then finally, as layoffs occur in whatever area, and we're going to minimize those through attrition and retirements, but we know layoffs occur. They occur every year. We will work with you to make sure you get the best kind of help and services available.
Great, okay. And then finally, to our supporters off campus. They might be alumni, they might be donors, they might be parents of students who are here. What is your message to them about how is the University of Arizona, and what should they know about it, and what should they not necessarily worry about?
Well, so many messages. First, going back to the recent tuition setting, I would encourage all of our supporters to be supportive of the Regents. This is a group of extremely thoughtful, committed individuals. They don't all have the same points of view in detail, but they all have a great love and passion for these three universities. And so give them your support. Make sure they know that if they need to call on you, you are there to help support the three universities of this state. That is critical. Make your voice heard in the legislature. Do it in a polite, substantive way. But let them know why these universities are critical to the future of the state of Arizona. Then more specifically with the University of Arizona, we have so many friends who are generous in both resources and time. Please continue to do that. Please continue to give me your thoughts and views about how we can be even better. And stay with us. You know, great institutions come out of difficult times even stronger. And that's what the transformation process is designed to do. That's what we intend to do. I plan on sticking around here and working with people because I'm committed to this institution, as I think everyone who's listening to this is.